First 3 innings pretty crisp from both sides, and we were able to scratch one across, but they came back. We had obviously some defensive slip-ups there. Nooney had trouble with Trout's ball. I don't know what that came off the bat, but it was hit well, but we didn't make that play. They got a couple of that inning, and then the 5th inning was really our downfall. Leadoff double, and just a lot of things started happening. We had a chance to minimize there and keep it respectable, but we missed the play in the outfield. It extended the inning. Instead of 4-2, it was 7-2. And then, they broke it open again, 3 more. I think they scored, they get 9 of their runs in 3 innings there in the middle of the game. So we didn't have much offense. We ended up with 4 hits or whatever it was. But, that was the middle of the game. Things kind of fell apart.
With Kepler's plays, as an outfielder, you want to just get to the line as fast as you can?
Just a young kid being, maybe a little over-aggressive, not reading the ball particularly well when you overrun a play like that. He's a good defender for the most part, but that obviously was a play that, needs to be made.
Your thoughts on Duffy, Molly?
Kind of like we talked about before the game. First time through was good, and he's pitching with a lot of emotion out there. We talk about sometimes it works for him, sometimes against him. It seems like those middle innings, he starts. You can see the emotion building, and I think he has to learn how to use it positively instead of negatively. You got to keep in control, even though you're competing at such a high level, and I think sometimes that works against him.
Are opponents starting to lay off that curveball a little more?
I'm not sure if it's at its best as we've seen it. I think it's being recognized a little bit more. I think people are aware that he has it, so sometimes maybe they're looking for it in certain situations. But they're making him throw strikes with it more than they used to. He's not getting as many chases, that's for sure.
With Joe's streak, what have you seen this last month sort of from him at the plate and how he's been able to attack?
Joe's, keep the reaching base safely consecutive games alive there with that last at-bat. He had a real nice at-bat against Guerra, hit a changeup on a 3-2 count. He's been consistent all year, really. He had one little stretch of about 7 to 10 games where he came off the mountain that he had climbed the first part of the season, but he's been steady. He had a long streak to start the season, and he's backed it up with another one. Joe's one of those guys that just, he doesn't let a record or scores or whatever. He just goes out there and plays the game and has good at-bats consistently. Gives himself a chance. He's got a good eye. He's got the walks up there, on base percentage. He's playing well.
How troubling is it, Molly? You guys had a chance to win a series and you saw some over-aggressiveness by Kepler. I think Robbie didn't take a great route and I don't think his way. Just see how things wound up here when you
it's disappointing. You'd like, even in defeat, to play more soundly. Some of the basic things that you need to do. You're going to make errors. We all know that. But sometimes those misplays are they're hard to explain because they're, Nooney's missing Trout's ball is one thing, but some of those other plays, I think Robbie got fooled on that ball out there and left. I think he thought it was going to hook more. It ended up actually cutting back towards the gap, so he kind of, he turned his back and ran where he thought it was going, but he was off, and then he had to make a late adjustment and he couldn't catch the ball.